So we're just on the road here now, leaving, we're not leaving Jasper yet. We're not going to be leaving Jasper for a while. I'm going to be sticking around the town here. We'll drive around, do some photography. And, because, oh man, today is going to be a really nice day. Look at the clouds. Oh man, we're going to do some time lapses here. And yeah, it's going to be a nice day. So we just pulled out of our hotel at the Best Western. And it was a rather pricey place to stay last night. My room was essentially a basement suite. I had no windows. Well, I should say that I had two tiny little windows that were, you know, basically big enough to crawl out of in the event of a fire. I was below ground, so there was no view. It didn't matter because there was nothing to see, because last night it was pissing with rain like all night. It was just, it rained until, well, it was raining until I went to sleep. So today, as you can see, it's cloudy, but I think that we're going to be able to see something today. Let's just take a drive here. I'm going to leave the video camera running here as we drive around Jasper, and we're going to find some places and take some pictures of the mountains. It's beautiful up here. This is a really nice part of the country. Had a little chat this morning for several minutes with one of the personnel from the Best Western, and he was quite impressed with my car. He was asking about whether it's electric and whether it's all bad, you know, whether how the range is and how does the gas engine work. And he's never seen one up here. This is the first one he's seen up in this part of the country, which is surprising, but. So I think we're getting a bit out of town, so I'm going to flip a U-turn and go back into town because I really want to get some pictures in the town itself. I turned left where I should have turned right. So I'm looking at the clouds. I'm hoping that the clouds are going to hold off at least for half an hour, so I can set up and shoot some, shoot 400 pictures or so, and then. And then it can rain. But for now, let's take a look. We'll take a drive down the main drag now that it looks a little nicer out today than it did yesterday. We'll just put the camera over here a bit, oops, so that you can see what is the main drag. Basically, as I'm driving up here, I'm looking for a spot that I can set my camera up and get some stills and get some time lapse. cars around building a train up, I guess, getting ready to haul some stuff out at the CN yard here in Jasper. Chopper's going somewhere. Must be going to a fire. So he's carrying a bucket of water or fire retardant or something below, and there he heads into the clouds. So what we're doing is I'm doing a time lapse here in Jasper. Got my camera set up, and we're about halfway through. I shoot 400 photos, or 399 actually, which is about 13 seconds once those photos are processed and played at 30 frames per second. And yeah, we're getting some cloud formations moving here, and hopefully the weather will hold out and we can get a few more shots. I'd like to get some of the shot behind me here as well over the train yard. And then we're going to start making our way down towards Lake Louise, and hopefully the weather holds out. It was sunny. It's starting to cloud up again. I have a feeling that we're going to get rained out again today. Weather's very unpredictable here today up here in the mountains. Temperature is about 15 degrees. It's not too hot, not too cold. It's actually quite nice up here. It'd be nicer if it was a little more sunny. But when we're done here, I'm going to do some more video around the town part itself, and then we'll get moving on to Lake Louise. So here we are in downtown Jasper. I've just stepped away from my camera for a minute there. I've got to keep it in sight though, because there's lots of people around here that might want to steal it. But here's the backdrop here. We're in downtown Jasper. It's about, I guess it's about 12:30 now. We've been doing time lapse for about an hour at a couple different backgrounds. And when I finish this one up, we'll be moving on. Get some more shots of the city here, the town. But this is just the background here. This is this is the main drag. I'd say it's a cloudy day today here in Jasper. So I'm just making my way back to my my car, and we're just at the train yard here. They've been shuffling trains around all day, so it's quite loud, the noise here. But anyway, as I say, the weather's held out so far for us today. Yesterday we chased rain all the way in here, and it rained all night. So hopefully the weather will be a little better when we get to Lake Louise. So here we go by the Via Rail Yard again. Just finished doing some photos of the Greyhound stations also here. And as you can see, it's starting to rain. So we're gonna find the gas station in town here, top up the tank. I'm just at a pizza joint here, and they cooked their pizza in a fired pizza oven. Oh, this should be good. Oh, I just had, that would be unquestionably one of the best pizzas I've ever eaten. This thing was fantastic. It was cooked on their wood-burning fire oven. Crust was thin and crispy. and the flavor was, it was undescribable. It was fantastic. Everything else that I've had up to this point is like craft dinner. So I'm now on Highway 93, the Icefields Parkway, and my phone's going off. What do you know? Anyway, this trip should take us a little while this afternoon. Certainly not as long a drive as yesterday, but should take us the better part of the afternoon, I think, to get down to Lake Louise. And then the intention is to stay in Lake Louise tonight, if possible. And tomorrow we'll go through Banff and start making our way out of the park. I have to be out by 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon because the park, you have to have a permit to be in here. And I see a lot of people stopping up ahead, so I'm wondering what's going on. Is there animals on the road, perhaps? Everybody's, oh, yeah, there's a deer at the side of the road. Oh dear, everybody's stopping to take a picture. Should be a deer right out to the side there. Where are you, yeah, bugger? Yeah, Bambi's at the side of the road. There he is right there, right beside that white car. The person in the white car is, of course, stopping to take a picture of it. Okay, excitement's passed. Get back on the road again, and I'm sure we'll be seeing more interesting things in the not too distant future. So here's our exit here. Take the Icefields Parkway. I remember this light coming into town. I went to the right to go to Jasper. So we're going to hang a left here and take 93 southbound. Should be an interesting drive. Okay, Icefields Parkway, here we come. Gotta like that, the light lighting up that sign there. It's just an incandescent bulb. Shows how old that light fixture is. I haven't seen one of those in like probably 40 years. I remember when all the old street lights in Vancouver, and this is less than 40 years ago. This is going back into the 80s. All the street lights were incandescent bulbs, and then they went and upgraded them all to high pressure sodium. But all the city of Vancouver, I remember growing up in the 70s and into the early 80s, they were all still old incandescent, probably 1,000-watt bulb, but they were still all old incandescent bulbs that they used for the street light. You can imagine the amount of power that that would have wasted. Looks like there should be some lookout stuff up here. I see, it's called Marmot Basin. It says it's 14 kilometers, so let's just go with, I saw a sign that says lookout point, so let's take a drive up here and see what we can see. This is gonna burn my battery up pretty quick. It's all uphill, but then again, coming down the other side, or coming back, I should pick up a good recharge coming back the other way. It's gonna be all uphill all the way to the top. And hopefully the clouds won't be too bad and I'll be able to get some pictures and some video, but I'm already seeing the rain is starting, so that might be a signal of things to come. idea of a nice road. A nice, narrow, winding road. You can't go very fast up here because the road's very narrow and it's twisting. Oh, this would be a wonderful road to be on a motorcycle. That's all my equipment in the back goes tumbling around. Yeah, this would be a great ride on a bike. Still couldn't go fast though because the turns are extremely sharp, and you'd be dumping your bike pretty quick if you tried to go around this at any type of speed. There was a sign back there that said, "No motorhomes and no trailers." You think there's a reason for that? But, if you like twisty roads, this is a good one to go up. This is taking us up to another lookout, and judging from the number of cars along here, I think that this lookout is probably going to be a little busier than the last one, or maybe accessible. The last one, the ski resort part was closed, and that's where the lookout was up there. So we all went up there and turned around and came back. Look at what's ahead of us. Snow. Glaciers are dead ahead. That's what we're going to see. You can see it on the camera. Right up there above the trees. That's what we're going to see. I think when we get to the top here, depending on what we can see in this lookout, but I'm thinking this is a good place for a time lapse, especially if it's not raining here. Fire pits or trees. So we stopped to take some video and pictures there, and I just put the car into mountain mode to let some charge go in the battery. So when we get up to the top, they'll be charged, and then we can pick up a whole bunch of charge coming back down. So I've probably put about 10 10 kilometers or so of range in the battery, just letting it sit for the past 5 minutes while I was taking pictures. Because that's what mountain mode does. It starts the engine and dumps the extra power right into the battery. Well, if you're not moving, it dumps it all into the battery. In theory, if they would allow the battery to be fully charged with the engine, which they won't, it'll run for a maximum of 10 minutes and shut off. But if they were, and that gives you a basically 40% charge on the battery. If they were to allow the engine to run, it could recharge the battery in 30 minutes, but that won't happen because it's not efficient to do that. It's just there for that extra power for when going over big mountain ranges. Like now I can probably switch my drive mode back to normal and the engine will shut off because I've built up a reserve in the battery now. And when I get to the lookout point and shut the car off, when it comes back on, it'll start up in battery mode, and I'll be able to make it all the way down the hill and pick up charge all the way down the hill. Fortunately, it's kind of raining out now, which is kind of putting a damper on my idea of setting up and doing a time-lapse. I think we're almost at the top here. This is probably the top of the road here. I think this is it. This is what we came to see. So let's get up here and take the camera out and find a place to park and take out the camera and take some pictures. Yeah, there's a parking lot up here. It's interesting that they've paved the parking lot, but they haven't paved the little access road going up to it. We're just up here in the Icefields, just on one of the trails here, and I've got my other camera just taking some pictures, some clouds moving in the background here, you'll see it. I'm just taking some shots of what's up there. We're killing some time here, taking some pictures of and some video of the Icefields. Quite the drive up here. This is a 12-kilometer trail. I'm not going to be hiking the whole thing. Looks like it's going to rain, and it actually is quite cool out here today. It's about 7 degrees Celsius where I am, so I've got my jacket on. And this trail we're on is called Mount Edith Cavell Trail. To say it's a 12-kilometer trail that goes way up there into the ice fields, and I'm certainly not going to be hiking up there carrying a whole bunch of camera equipment, but sure got some fantastic sights up here, I tell you. And it's starting to rain. So I don't know how many pictures I got in this location here. I hope I got enough to give me a few seconds of video. We got a couple hundred pictures, but I got to put the camera away now because it's really starting to come down pretty quick. So that'll end this location. So here we are, almost back to the bottom of the hill, and we're sitting at 21 kilometers of range. So we started out with 6 when I First shut off the engine. And on my way back, we got to 21. So we're at the back at the junction of Highway 93 southbound to Lake Louise. So we're stopped here to look out at the side of the road here. I'm just doing some time lapse of the clouds here. And we've got the river beside us here. So I've just been spending some time taking some video, and it started to rain there for a bit, but just as I was about to leave, there was a break in the clouds and the sun's come out, so I figured I'd set up the time-lapse camera and would do a little bit of time-lapse here while I'm killing time. Figured I'd talk to the camera. To say the weather hasn't been as good as I would have liked it to have been, but we've got some breaks here and a bit of wind in the background. You can probably even see the clouds in the video moving, and that should make some really great time lapse. I can actually see the clouds moving in the shot that I'm time lapsing with the other camera. So I'm exposing at a 3-second interval, which should be more than adequate for creating a really dramatic. Usually I go with a 5-second, but the clouds are moving pretty good today, so go with a 3-second. It actually cuts down my time substantially. So it's actually Mushroom Peak is actually the one that we are photographing here for the time lapse. That's what that's the area we're time lapsing up here. But even on video, you can probably see the clouds moving. So when the pictures are put together, it's going to be pretty quick. It's quite windy here today. But anyway, we'll push on now and see what comes up next. It's 4:30 Vancouver time now, 5:30 Calgary time. So I don't know quite how far I am from Lake Louise at this point. I'm still probably an hour or so out, so take some time here to get there before the rooms fill up. This is probably a time that I should be in mountain mode, but I'm not. But I'm not going that fast either, so I'm sure we'll make it. But it's pretty steep hill here that we've got. And we've got people crossing the road. A crosswalk on the highway. That's why there's a waterfall here. Let's stop and take a picture of it. Cut right through the canyon. Just carved right through those rocks to put the road in. Look at this. Skywalk here. This is where the skywalk is. Glacier Skywalk. We got blocked off so you can't see anything. left on the other side. But normally this is a river. Riverbed, dry. What I've got framed up here, I hope that everything's in frame. But there is a lookout here that I'm going to stop at, and we can take some pictures. Looks like it's full. You can take a bus out to the ice fields. And we'll take you right out to the ice fields. It's raining again. Not good weather for taking pictures today, that's for sure. Everything's gray. There's not much color out here today. On a nice day, a spectacular view up there. But unfortunately, the same thing happens every year when I take my holidays. The weather turns to shit, and I have to deal with this. Maybe I should start taking my holidays in August, because July certainly isn't very good. Yuck. This is on the road that heads out towards the glacier. So let's just drive down here and see where it goes. I wish it wasn't raining, because it's really kind of suck a bit. So much nicer if it was the weather was nice, but it is what it is, right? As far as this road goes, the buses go up further, they go a different route that takes you right up to the skywalk. Well, here is the hide your valuables. You think people might steal something from your car here if they were in plain sight? Like maybe a camera or something? You think? We're not going to be stopping here because it's raining. Right ahead of me is the Blue Lake. I imagine that that's Lake Louise because they say it's blue-green. That's dead ahead. we just merged onto the Highway 1, Highway 401, and we're 2 kilometers out of Lake Louise. And that's where we're going to be stopping for the, now we're 1 kilometer out of Lake Louise. That's where we're going to be stopping for the evening. Following a slow trailer in. There's the sign. Welcome to Lake Louise.